Hey everyone, welcome to week 11 of the Ncaa football season. Last week, not a great week, 1-4-1. Of course, one of them was my Missouri team that I went ahead and took the underdog, but was happy that they blew them out. So we'll see how we do this week. Not a lot of great games this week. There's 3 really good games, 2 of them tonight. But I've got a couple here that I'm going to do on the side just real quick. These are ones I really like. I normally don't do these games because they're not, top 25 teams on some of them. So I'm going to try it this week. Let's see what we do. I've been trying to stay with your big matchups for the weekend, but those aren't necessarily ones I always bet. But we'll go through these and take a look. First game tonight, we've got Oklahoma going on the road to Baylor. Baylor's favored by 16 points. You look at Baylor offensively, averaging almost 64 points a game. Oklahoma, #1 defense in the Big 12, but not a lot of great wins. They're winning games. There's 7 or 8-1, but not blowing out teams like you normally expect Oklahoma to do. Baylor, on the other hand, is blowing out teams, but they really haven't played anybody yet. They're going to go into stretch now, four games or so, where they're playing some of the top teams in the Big 12. So we're really going to find out more about Baylor. I like Oklahoma on the road here. Oklahoma's won 21 of the last 22 games against Baylor. Last one they lost was, I think, 2 years ago with RG3. I like Oklahoma to go on the road, cover 16 points, possibly win. Not going to count on it, but I like them to cover 16 here on the road. The next game later tonight, you've got Oregon favored by 10.5 points going on the road to Stanford. Stanford seems to have Oregon's number. You look at last year, Stanford went to Oregon and beat them 17-14. I find it hard to believe that Stanford can do it again. Yes, Stanford has a very good defense. Oregon just got done playing UCLA, has a very comparable defense to Stanford, and beat them by 28 at home. I like Oregon on the road here to make up for last year. Don't expect Oregon to score 50 points. They might score 30, 35, but I expect that Oregon's going to cover here against Stanford. Next, we've got Missouri going on the road to Kentucky. Missouri's favored by 14.5. I'm just going to take Missouri to cover 14.5 here. They should win this game, but you never know with Kentucky. It's going to take them a couple years to get back to, I guess, quote-unquote, respectability under Stoops. But I'm worried about this game in the fact that this is the kind of trap game that Missouri falls sometimes and stumbles along. So I can see Kentucky get out to a decent start beginning, but they've got two of their top receivers who are possibly going to miss this game. I just don't see a lot offensively for them to stay in this game. So I'm taking Missouri to cover the 14.5. And then Saturday night, we've got LSU going on the road to Alabama. Alabama's favored by 12.5 points. This is the one game where you just kind of throw the records out the window, and these teams battle each time they play. So that's why I'm taking LSU here, even though it's on the road, and Alabama is definitely the better team in my opinion. I still like LSU to keep this close and to cover 12.5. A couple other games that I'll give you that I really like these spreads. Penn State going on the road to Minnesota. Minnesota is favored by 2. I like Minnesota in this game to easily cover 2 points. BYU going on the road to Wisconsin. Wisconsin's favored by 7.5. I like Wisconsin. Nebraska, after that Hail Mary win against Northwestern, going on the road to Michigan. Michigan's favored by 6.5. I really have questions about both these teams. Nebraska with Pelini, I really thought that in 6 years he would get the Nebraska defense back to where it was, and it's not even close. Michigan, on the other hand, at home they can score, beat Indiana 63-47. They also win by 3 points against Akron. It seems like a coin flip as to what team you're going to get, but I think at home, coming off that loss to Michigan State last week, a very disappointing loss, I like Michigan to cover here on the road or at home. Next, you've got Arizona State going on the road to Utah. Arizona State's favored by 7. Arizona State's playing really well this year. Outside of that loss to Stanford, which they had to rally toward the end and still lost by, I think, 11 points or 12. I like Arizona to go on the road and cover 7 here. And then last, Kansas going on the road to Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State's favored by 31. I don't know what you can say about Kansas other than they're just terrible. They have no offense. Defense is okay, but it's not going to be able to do enough. Oklahoma State these last 2 or 3 weeks is really playing good football. It's the kind of offensive football you expect to see out of Oklahoma State the whole year. I like Oklahoma State at home to cover 31 points. That's my picks for this week. We'll see how they go. Take care. Got some good football tonight. We'll see you next week.